All right, what's up, everyone, and welcome to NFL Nexus. So, after 2 full seasons in the league, seasons that had some pretty incredible highs and, let's be honest, some frustrating lows, the Chicago Bears leadership is finally speaking out about their star quarterback, Caleb Williams. And you know what? The verdict seems to be in. The message they're sending out is crystal clear. The foundation is absolutely set, they believe he's the guy, but the real work, the championship level work, that's just getting started. So today, we're going to do a deep dive and break down the entire organization's verdict. What exactly makes them so confident? And what's the one major hurdle that's still standing in his way? Let's get into it. And we're going to start right here with this quote from head coach Ben Johnson at the NFL Combine, because really, it says it all. Now, this isn't just your typical run-of-the-mill coach speak that you hear all the time, the stuff they say just to say it. No. This is a powerful declaration of confidence. This one quote sets the entire stage for a story about incredible growth, insane potential, and some sky-high expectations for the Bears' young signal caller. For decades, literally decades, the quarterback position in Chicago has been this revolving door of disappointment. It's been a tough ride for Bears fans. So the big question, the one everyone is asking, is this: has Caleb Williams finally, after all this time, laid the foundation to be the long-awaited answer? Let's really unpack that. You have to understand the context here. For a franchise that has a virtual graveyard of first-round quarterback busts and disappointments, this kind of public confidence is a monumental statement. It's huge. The Bears aren't just, crossing their fingers and being hopeful. It feels like they are moving forward with a real conviction, a belief that this endless, painful search for a true franchise cornerstone, the kind of player who can anchor your team for a decade plus, is finally over. And we can't forget, this was the label that was stuck to Caleb Williams the second he was getting ready for the draft: generational. That is such a heavy crown for any young player to wear, right? The expectations are through the roof. And after going through some of that predictable rookie turbulence in 2024, which, hey, most rookies do, his second season in 2025 really started to show everybody exactly why that massive hype existed in the first place. And this right here, this captures one of those wow moments, one of those plays that defines a special player. So picture the scene, okay? The pocket completely collapses. The play breaks down, he's scrambling for his life, and he's actually retreating further and further and further back. But instead of panicking, instead of just throwing it away, he keeps his eyes downfield and just uncorks an absolute laser to Cole Kmet for a game-tying score. Think about this. No quarterback since 2016 had completed a pass from that far behind the line of scrimmage. That's not just a great play, folks. That is a true flash of greatness. And it's exactly that kind of rare, special talent that has his head coach, Ben Johnson, just overflowing with confidence. He's ready to unlock the next level of this entire offense, and he believes Caleb is the key to do it. Man, I love this quote from Johnson because it just paints such a vivid, clear picture of a quarterback's development. He's basically saying that in year one, Caleb was just trying to keep his balance, right? He was like a kid learning to ride a bike, wobbling, try not to fall, learning these brand new complex NFL concepts, and seeing defensive coverages for the very first time. But now he's not just riding the bike, he's ready to pop a wheelie and ride with no hands. He's processing the game so much faster, he's accelerating his vision, and that right there is the absolute key to unlocking the entire offense. So here's why this is so important. What does not starting from ground one actually mean in practice for the team? Well, it's a massive, massive advantage. It means they're not going to waste precious time in OTAs and training camp going over the ABCs of the offense all over again. They can jump right into the advanced curriculum. We're talking installing more complex pass protections, adding new layers and wrinkles to their route combinations, and maybe most importantly, giving Caleb Williams more control to make checks and adjustments at the line of scrimmage. This kind of continuity, it accelerates development for every single player on that offense. And this comparison here, it brilliantly illustrates the whole dynamic at play. Coach Johnson explains that their job as coaches, as play callers, is to scheme guys open, to get the primary receiver open against the coverage they expect. But, as we all know, football is messy. It's chaotic. Plays break down all the time. And that's where Williams becomes what Johnson calls the ultimate eraser. When the perfect play call isn't there, or the defense does something unexpected, his improvisational magic can turn a surefire sack into a 15-yard gain, or a completely broken play into a touchdown. He makes the coaches right, even when the play goes totally wrong. But for all the excitement, for all the optimism coming from the coaching staff, you've got the front office, and they're here with a very, very important dose of reality. Because that leap from being a good quarterback to a truly great one, It is never, ever guaranteed. And there it is. That's from the general manager, Ryan Poles. He's essentially pumping the brakes just a little bit. He knows better than anyone that one fantastic breakout season is great, it's wonderful, but the true mark of a franchise quarterback, the thing that separates the legends from the one-hit wonders, is the ability to do it again and again and again. It is all about consistency. He's making it abundantly clear that while they are absolutely on the right path, the journey is far from over. Okay, so this brings us to what is probably the perfect cautionary tale, and there's a good reason this example comes up. Baker Mayfield. Just take a look at this career roller coaster. Year 1, fantastic. Sets the rookie touchdown record, looks like an absolute slam dunk. You think they finally got their guy. Then what happens? Year 2 is a major sophomore slump. The numbers just completely tank. But okay, he rebounds. Year 3, he's back. He leads the Browns to the playoffs, wins a playoff game. You're thinking, okay, now we're back on track. He's their long-term answer. But then he falters again. And by year 5, the team that spent the #1 overall pick on him had moved on. This right here is the living, breathing example of what GM Ryan Poles is talking about. Stacking successful seasons is incredibly, incredibly difficult in the NFL. And even the super optimistic Coach Johnson, he acknowledges the next hurdle. And it really comes down to the fundamentals. For all the magical, off-script, highlight reel plays, there are still those routine throws within the structure of the offense that just have to be made consistently. So the biggest area for improvement is clear as day. It's accuracy and ball placement on what you might call the layups. The easy ones have to be automatic. And here's the number that tells that whole story. A completion percentage of 58.1% in 2025. Let's just be real here. In today's NFL, with how offenses are designed, that number is simply not sustainable for a quarterback to be considered truly elite. It really highlights the gap that still exists between his incredible sky-high potential and his current week-to-week production. This number, it absolutely has to go up. No question about it. So the crucial takeaway here is this. Caleb Williams has proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he has the rare talent. He's got the magic, and from everything we've heard, he has the work ethic to match. But that final, and honestly most difficult step in his journey, is turning those unbelievable flashes of brilliance into the kind of reliable, consistent, week-in, week-out production that wins divisions and eventually wins championships. That is the leap he has to make in 2026. Okay, so if he can conquer that consistency piece, what is his ultimate ceiling? What's the best case scenario? Let's look ahead to the 2026 season and try to map out the path from being a breakout star to a bona fide, legitimate MVP candidate. This table really lays out the evolution perfectly. I mean, look at the jump. In 2025, he broke out. He set the franchise record for passing yards, which is a huge deal in Chicago. But in 2026, the goal isn't just to inch past that number. It's to smash through the 4,000-yard barrier, a benchmark for elite QBs. He needs to go from being a breakout star that people are excited about to a legitimate MVP candidate that people are scared of. And his role in the team has to evolve too. It's no longer about just keeping the team in the hunt. It's about delivering those knockout blows early and often and putting teams away. And this little anecdote right here, this is exactly why the coaching staff believes he can make that massive leap. Coach Johnson shared this awesome story about showing Caleb one small detail on tape during a film session. It was something minor, a little nuance he didn't even think would come up in the next game. But wouldn't you know it, it did. And Williams immediately recognized it, applied the coaching point, and threw the balls to the exact right spot for a big gain. That uncanny ability to absorb information and then apply it that quickly, that's what separates the good from the truly great ones. It's why they're so sure significant strides are coming his way. So the stage is set. All the pieces are in place. The talent is undeniable, the work ethic is clearly there, and the coaching staff has a definitive plan to get him to that next level. So the final question is this. Is 2026 the year Caleb Williams silences any remaining doubt and proves to everyone that he is the truly generational talent the Chicago Bears have been desperately waiting for? Believe me, the entire league will be watching to find out. What did you all think? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to NFL Nexus for more deep dives all season long. Oh, and one more thing. A great way to help support the channel is by checking out our coloring books. They're perfect for kids, grandkids, or even for adults looking to unwind. You can find them by using the link in the description or just scan the QR code you see on the screen now. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.